Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about Legendre's differential equation. Legendre differential equation actually has a variety of applications, specifically in electrostatics, electromagnetics and in quantum mechanics. In quantum mechanics, while solving the hydrogen atom using separation of variable techniques or solving Laplace equations, Helmholtz equations, the differential equation actually somehow becomes in this form. So that's the reason that the study of this particular differential equation is quite important to us. So first of all, let's have a look on what is the form of this differential equation, actually known as Legendre's differential equation. So the form for this differential equation is like this. It is 1 minus x square d square y over dx square minus 2x dy by dx plus n into n plus 1 y equals to 0. In condition on this n is non-negative integer, or you can say it is positive integer. Clear? So this equation can be rearranged to have px and qx, and this will be d square y by dx square minus 2x over 1 minus x square dy by dx plus n into n plus 1 divided by 1 minus x square into y equals to 0. So comparing this equation with the general form of a second order linear differential equation, we can have px and qx, and px will be this minus 2x over 1 minus x square, qx will be n into n plus 1 divided by 1 minus x square. So from now you can say that x equals to 0. For x equals to 0, both px and qx will be analytic. So you can say x equals to 0 will be an ordinary point, and x equals to plus minus 1 are a regular singular point. We can check them by checking the value of px and qx at x equals to plus 1 and minus 1. So we can say these are singular points, and further we can check by the expression x minus x naught into px and x minus x naught square into qx. Then we can say this x equals to plus minus 1 will be a regular singular point corresponding to this differential equation. Clear? And we very well know that for solving the ordinary point, we can also use the Frobenius method. We can have the solution about x equals to 0. Also we can have the solution about x equals to plus minus 1. But the solution about x equals to 0 is of greater importance, or we can obtain the Legendre differential equations polynomial or Legendre polynomials by using either of the point. Either we can use ordinary point or we can use the regular singular point. Here we are using the x equals to 0 ordinary point to solve this differential equation in terms of power series, and using Frobenius method, the solution for this will be of this form: y is summation over k going from 0 to infinity ak x raised to power m minus k. We can also have the solution in terms of ascending power series, but here we had considered in the solution in the descending powers. Clear? With the initial assumptions that a naught must be non-zero. So this is our equation second. The earlier differential equation corresponding to Legendre is marked as equation first. Clear? So now we have y, so we can easily find y prime and y double prime. So y prime will be simply ak into m minus k into x raised to power m minus k minus 1, and y double prime will be ak times m minus k minus 1 x raised to power m minus k minus 2. In next step, we will use these values y prime and y double prime in our differential equation. So that will become like this: summation over k running from 0 to infinity ak. So this term, as it is, have 1 minus x square, so 1 into d square y by dx square, and then minus x square into d square y by dx square. So the first term will be this, and minus of x square, so the power will become x raised to power m minus k for second term, minus 2x, so minus 2x into dy by dx. So this power will become x raised to power m minus k into 2ak into m minus k plus n into n plus 1 into y. So this is n into n plus 1 and this is the y. Clear? Now as this is a polynomial which contains actually different powers of x, and on the right hand side there is 0, so this equality can be satisfied only when the coefficient of different power of x on the left hand sides are separately made equal to 0. So that's exactly what we had done here. So equating the coefficients of various power of x to the 0, and we had considered the solution in the descending powers. So we'll start with the highest power of x, and you can clearly see from this equation third, the highest power of x will be When k is 0, this will correspond to x raised to power m minus 2. When k is 0, this will correspond to x raised to power m. This will also correspond to x raised to power m, and this will also correspond to x raised to power m. So while equating the coefficient for the highest power, and highest power will be what? X raised to power m corresponding to k equals to 0. So that will be minus a naught m into m minus 1 plus 2m minus n into n plus 1 equals to 0. Or we can rearrange this equation as a naught into m square plus m minus n square minus n, and we can further solve this to have the root of the initial equation. And you can see the equation will be simplified as a naught into m minus n, m plus n minus 1 equals to 0. Clearly a naught can't be 0, as it is already we had assumed that a naught must be non-zero. So only possibility remaining is this term must be 0. So from there you can have the root of the initial equation, and the root will be, one root will be m equals to n, and the second root will be m equals to minus of n plus 1. We will solve for these two values separately. Clear? In the next step, the second highest power will be x raised to power m minus 1. So equating the coefficient of x raised to power m minus 1, and that will correspond to k equal to 1 in this particular equation, that is equation third. You can see when k is 1, so this corresponds to x raised to power m minus 3. When k is 1, this corresponds to x raised to power m minus 1. This also corresponds to m minus 1. This also corresponds to m minus 1 for k equals to 1. So obviously we are getting the contribution from these last three terms corresponding to the power x raised to power m minus 1. So this will be minus a1 times m minus 1 m minus 2 plus twice of m minus 1 minus of n into n plus 1 equals to 0. And you can simplify this. The resulting term will be of this form. And as we had earlier obtained m equals to n or m equals to minus of n plus 1. So for either of the values, you can put m equals to n here, or you can put m equals to minus of n plus 1, but this term will not be 0. So this term is not 0 for either of the values of m. The only possibility we are getting from here is this a1 must be 0. So that is our equation fifth. a1 is 0, the first coefficient a1, which is equals to 0. And this is a general case. We hadn't considered either of the values. Now the equation third can be rearranged, or can be rewritten like this. This is the form of equation third. So now the first term contains x raised to power m minus k minus 2. The index of this term is m minus k minus 2, but the index for these three terms is x raised to power m minus k. So to equate the general power, we have to make the index of this term also as x raised to power m minus k. And how we can do this? We simply have to shift the summation index for this term to change the index. So how can we do this? We have to shift k by k plus 2, or k minus 2, sorry. So by shifting k to k minus 2, in the first term, the summation will now start from k equals to 2 to infinity, and k is shifted by k minus 2, so it will be ak minus 2, m minus k plus 2, m minus k plus 1, and the power will become k is shifted by k minus 2, so minus of k plus 2 and minus 2. So this will correspond to x raised to power m minus k. These terms are already in terms of x raised to power m minus k and can be combined to write ak common, m minus k into m minus k minus 1 plus twice of m minus k minus of n into n plus 1 into x raised to power m minus k equals to 0. I had taken the negative sign common. So just simplify this equation. M minus k into m minus k minus 1. So this will be m minus k square, and minus of m minus k and plus of twice of m minus k is there. So the resulting term will be plus of m minus k. So after simplification, this term inside the bracket can be written as ak into m minus k plus 1 minus of n into n plus 1 x raised to power m minus k equals to 0. And the first term is as it is, that is ak minus 2 m minus k plus 2 m minus k plus 1 into x raised to power m minus k. So now both terms are having the same index, that is m minus k. So now we can equate the coefficient of x raised to power m minus k to the 0. And what will we have? We simply have this expression, that is ak minus 2 is this, equals to ak times this, and from here you can have the value of ak in terms of ak minus 2, and this will be minus of m minus k plus 2, m minus k plus 1 divided by n into n plus 1 minus of m minus k into m minus k plus 1, and this recurrence relation holds for all values of k greater than equal to 2. This is known as general recurrence relation, or you can say it is recurrence formula to find the various coefficients. And you can clearly see this recurrence relation basically relates ak with the ak minus 2 coefficients, and since a1 is 0, so when we will find a3 we have to put k equals to 3 here, and but this will become a1, and since a1 is 0, so a3 will be definitely 0, and now a3 had become 0, so when we will find a5 that will also be 0. So we can say since a1 is 0, so all odd coefficients, that is a3, a5, a7, a9, all odd coefficients will be 0. So now considering the first case, as we had two values of m, so first we had considered m equals to n here. So this recurrence relation becomes, that is ak, put m equals to n in this particular equation, that is equation 7th, so it will be minus of n minus k plus 2, n minus k plus 1 divided by n into n plus 1 minus of n minus k into n minus k plus 1 into ak minus 2, and for all values of k greater than equal to 2. Just simplify this term and we will have ak as minus of n minus k plus 2 into n minus k plus 1 divided by k into 2n minus k plus 1 into ak minus 2. I have marked this as equation 8th. So now we can put the various values of k to determine the different coefficients. So first put k equals to 2 here. There is no need to find odd coefficients because they are automatically 0. So now we will start with k equals to 2. So a2, put k equals to 2 in this. So this will be minus of, from here you will have n, and from this term you will have n minus 1 divided by 2n minus k plus 1, and put k equals to 2, so it will be 2n minus 1 into a naught. Clear? Similarly a4 will be minus of n minus 2, n minus 3 divided by 4 into 2n minus 3 into a2, and since a2 is already known in terms of a naught, so we can use this value, and this will become n into n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 divided by 2 into 4, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3 into a naught. So we are getting a pattern here. Similarly a6, value of a6 will be something like this, alternate plus minus are coming, so a6 will be minus n into n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, n minus 4, n minus 5 divided by 2 into 4 into 6, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3, 2n minus 5 into a naught. Clear? So on the behalf of this pattern we can predict that a2k, why we had considered a2k, because the summation is actually starting from 0 to infinity and odd coefficients are becoming 0. Odd coefficients are becoming 0. So we have to simply write a2k so that the contribution from the odd coefficients is automatically excluded. Clear? So a2k, when we will put k equals to 0, it will be a naught. When k is 1, it will be a2. When k is 2, it will be a4. So those 0 coefficients are automatically neglected. So that's why I had considered a2k here. And on behalf of these values I can write a2k as, it will be minus 1 raised to power k n into n minus 1, n minus 2 up to what? Look at this term, a2 is, this a2 is, a2k is n into n minus 1. So a2, and in numerator we are getting n into n minus 1. So similarly for a2k we will have n into n minus 1, n minus 2 up to this term, that is n minus 2k plus 1. Because for a4 we are getting term up to n minus 3, for a6 we are getting term up to n minus 5. Similarly for a2k we will have n minus 2k plus 1 into a naught, and now in the denominator we will have 2 into 4 into 6 up to which term? Up to 2k. You can see a4 we are getting 2 into 4. For A6 we are getting 2 into 4 into 6. Similarly for A2k we will have 2 into 4 into 6 up to 2k into 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3, 2n minus 5, 2n minus 7 up to 2n minus 2k plus 1 into A0. Clear? So to derive the legendary polynomial we have to consider the value of A0 here, and the value of A0 that is considered is of this form. A0 is nothing but this 2n factorial divided by 2 raised to power n into n factorial square. So in next step just use this value of A0 in the expression used for A2k, and then A2k will be of this form. So you can see A2k will become minus 1 raised to power k n into n minus 1, this term as it is, and the value of A0 is 2n factorial divided by 2 raised to power n into n factorial square, and the rest terms are same. Consider this as equation 9th. So we'll simplify this coefficient we will try to make this in a compact form. And how we can do this? In the first step I am multiplying and dividing this expression by n minus 2k factorial. So what is the effect of this multiplication? In the denominator there are n minus 1, n minus 2 up to n minus 2k plus 1. So after multiplying with n minus 2k factorial, this complete term can be read as n factorial. Clear? The rest terms are same. This can be combined to write 2 raised to power n plus k, k factorial, n factorial square, and also we had divided by n minus 2k factorial, and the rest terms are 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3 up to 2n minus 2k plus 1. So this n factorial and one n factorial from the denominator can be cancelled. So A2k will be minus 1 raised to power k, 2n factorial, 2 raised to power n plus k, k factorial, n factorial, n minus 2k factorial, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3, 2n minus 5 up to 2n minus 2k plus 1. So look at the denominator. These terms are alternate odd terms, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 3, 2n minus 5. So even terms are missing from them. So in next step I had multiplied and divided by 2n, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 4 up to 2n minus 2k plus 2. So numerator will be this after multiplying with this term, and denominator it is 2n minus 1. So we had multiplied by 2n also here. So 2n, 2n minus 1, these terms will be sandwiched between these terms. So 2n, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 3, 2n minus 4, 2n minus 5 up to 2n minus 2k plus 2, and then 2n minus 2k plus 1. Is it clear? So in the next step, look at this term. In the numerator there is minus 1 raised to power k, 2n factorial, and these terms 2n, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 4 up to 2n minus 2k plus 2. So these are alternate even terms. If I take 2 common from each term, so how many power will be there? As these are in total 2k terms, but they are only even terms, so the resulting number of terms will be only k. So 1, 2 will be common from there, 1, 2 will be from there. So we will have 2 raised to power k, and the remaining term will be n. From here it will be n minus 1, from here it will be n minus 2, and from here it will be n minus k plus 1. And look at this denominator, 2 raised to power n plus k as it is, k factorial as it is, n factorial, n minus 2k factorial, and this complete term 2n, 2n minus 1, 2n minus 2, 2n minus 3, 2n minus 4 up to 2n minus 2k plus 2, 2n minus 2k plus 1. This can be made 2n factorial if I multiply this term by 2n minus 2k factorial. So that is the next step. In next step we had multiplied and divided this expression or this equation by 2n minus 2k factorial, so that in denominator this entire term starting from 2n and ending up to 2n minus 2k factorial can be read as 2n factorial. Clear? So that this entire term is replaced by 2n factorial, and that 2n factorial can be cancelled out. Clear? So after simplification, a2k will be minus 1 raised to power k, this 2n factorial is cancelled, so we have, and this 2 raised to power k, look at this, it is 2 raised to power n plus k, so 2 raised to power k can be cancelled from here. So in numerator we will only have minus 1 raised to power k, n into n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to n minus k plus 1, and we had multiplied here by 2n minus 2k factorial, so that term 2n minus 2k factorial. In denominator we have 2 raised to power n, because 2 raised to power k is cancelled, k factorial, n factorial, this n minus 2k factorial. Clear? So in next step, look at this term, n into n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to what? Up to n minus k plus 1. So this term can be made n factorial if it contains n minus k factorial here. So we had to simply multiply this equation in numerator and denominator by n minus k factorial, so that this term can be replaced, this term with this n minus k factorial can be replaced by a single term. So after multiplication with n minus k factorial in numerator and denominator, the expression for a to k will be minus 1 raised to power k, n into n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, n minus 4 up to n minus k plus 1, and then n minus k factorial. So this entire term up to this term, this can be read as n factorial into 2n minus 2k factorial as it is, divided by 2 raised to power n k factorial, n factorial, n minus 2k factorial is there, and as we had multiplied in denominator also, so n minus k factorial. So reading this term as n factorial, and it can be cancelled with this n factorial, so a to k will be simplified as minus 1 raised to power k, this 2n minus 2k factorial, divided by 2 raised to power n k factorial, n minus 2k factorial into n minus k factorial. Clear? So that is our equation 10th, and that is the value of a to k. So a to k becomes minus 1 raised to power k, 2n minus 2k factorial, 2 raised to power n into k factorial, n minus k factorial into n minus 2k factorial. In next step, we will just use this value of a to k in our assumed solution. So our assumed solution by the Frobenius method is of this form: summation over k starting from 0 to infinity a k x raised to power m minus k. And since we are solving over the first case when m is n, so we can put the value of m as n, and since odd coefficients are 0, so in place of considering these 0 coefficients, I can simply replace this coefficients ak by a to k. So the assumed solution will be of this form: summation over k starting from 0 to infinity a to k x raised to power m minus 2k. Simply replace k by 2k, so that these contribution from these odd coefficients will be automatically excluded. So now we will only have a0, a2, a4, a6. Clear? And since m is n, so we can put m equals to n here. And in the next step, this a to k, and we had assumed the value of a to k as this. So in next step, we will simply use this value of a to k in the assumed solution. So after putting the value of a to k and putting m equals to n, the solution y will be obtained as summation over k starting from 0 to infinity minus 1 raised to power k, 2n minus 2k factorial, divided by 2 raised to power n into k factorial, n minus k factorial, n minus 2k factorial into x raised to power m is n, so x raised to power n minus 2k. Clear? Now look at this term. In denominator we have n minus k factorial, n minus 2k factorial, and summation is actually running from 0 to infinity. So we have to change this upper index of the summation, because when k is greater than n, or when 2k is greater than n, so the argument for the factorial function will be negative, and this function is not defined when the argument of the factorial function is negative, so that is not defined. So in order to remove, or in order to eliminate that case or that condition, we have to somehow restrict this summation index, And how we can do this? For this we have to replace this upper limit of summation to some finite value denoted as capital N, and this capital N will be either it will be n by 2 or n minus 1 by 2, whichever value gives us the integer value, because the order n in the earlier assumed differential equation, this is non-negative integer or positive integer, so it can be odd or it can be of even nature. So depending on the value of n, this capital N will be either n by 2 or n minus 1 by 2. So after this simplification, y will be summation over k starting from 0 up to capital N, and this capital N is n by 2 or n minus 1 by 2 minus 1 raised to power k 2n minus 2k factorial divided by 2 raised to power n into k factorial n minus k factorial n minus 2k factorial into x raised to power n minus 2k. And that is the solution for Legendre differential equation corresponding to the first case when m equals to n, and that is denoted by Pnx, most commonly known as Legendre's polynomial of order n. So by putting the various values of k on the behalf of this n, we can obtain the value of Pnx. Clear? And obviously we will have the polynomial from here. You can see the power is decreasing, so it will contain the polynomial terms. It means the summation, when it is expanded, it will be containing finite number of terms. So that's why it is considered as Legendre's polynomial. So in this video we had discussed about the first solution corresponding to m equals to n. In the next video we will discuss about the second case corresponding to m equals to minus of n plus 1, and we will see what is the form of that particular solution or that particular case. Clear? So that's all for today. Thank you.